Hello everyone, this is Kristina from Kristina's Art Corner. I woke up today to being tagged by Disney Meg's coloring YouTube channel, and it is a Colorists Firsts Tag. So I'm going to participate. There's 10 questions that I'm going to answer, and I had to look some things up. And so let me go ahead and start answering some questions. So first of all, thank you, Meg, for tagging me. So let me go ahead and get started. So the first question is, what was your first coloring book when you started adult coloring? So I started coloring in February of 2022, this year, and started my YouTube channel 6 months ago in May. So the first book that I purchased was on Amazon, and that is the Color and Chicks Coloring Book 2. And the first one that I did was this one, and this was with Prismacolor pencils. And of course it is fun to look back and see the first ones that you've done. And I look at this and think, oh, it's very plain Jane. First time I was doing hair, first time doing a portrait, and that is one of the upcoming questions. But this was the first book that I purchased off of Amazon. And then question number 2 is, what was your first coloring supply? And that was these, the Colorist gel pens, right here. So yeah, these were the first, because I saw in the first couple pages that I did that I wanted to spice them up a little bit. So I researched a little bit and found out that these had refills. So I thought this would be a good purchase. And so far, so good. I have not had to refill any of them yet in the months that I've been coloring. So I do quite enjoy these. They have nice sparkle value. They go on smoothly. So yeah, this was my first intentional coloring purchase. And then let's move on to number 3 question is, what was your first non-budget friendly colored pencil set? And that was my Prismacolors, which I had purchased in February 2021 as just part of the artwork that I was doing before. So that, I would say the next pencil set that I did get was the Black Widows. So I went with the first 2 and then purchased the rest. So I have all of those in a, well, I guess I could just show you. These are my Black Widow pencils in this case. Thought this was a really cute case. And so yeah, they're all in here. I did color coded, so all the types are mixed in. All the sets are in here. Whoops. So yeah, that's all of the Black Widows in this bag. So that was the first, again, intentional set that I bought after I had the Prismacolors, because I had watched enough other artists on YouTube that were using them, so I really didn't even know in the colorist world that the Prismas were favored in most cases. Speaking of cases, this one's a little hard to zip. So yeah, that was my first, I think there's a question here about number 3 is non-budget friendly colored pencil sets, and that was my Prismacolors, which I bought prior to really going for coloring. The number 4 question was the first hardback coloring book that I purchased, which was Magical Dawn. And in Magical Dawn, I did this page, and I was so proud of myself doing this page. I did a pastel, pan pastel background, and I used the Prismas on this, and then covered it with, well, it looks like I have silver gel pen on here, and then I covered the whole thing with glitter Mod Podge. I'll just bring that in closer so you see some of the glitter action on there. I was so pleased with myself. I did learn with the pan pastels that finger smudges are a thing, so I do have one here. But it's fun to look back on a previous, like your first colorings. So that was the first one that I did in this book, Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. And see, next question. Who was your first buddy color with? I have not done a buddy color yet. I coincidentally reached out to a couple of people yesterday to see if they would do one, and still waiting on answers for that, but I would love to do one. Anyone that's interested, just let me know in the comments. I would be happy to. So the number 6 question is, what was the first colortube channel you watched? So again, this is a little fuzzy for me because I watched many artists. Super Ray Dizzle is one of them that I watched. Jazza. Sarah Renee Clark came on my radar from Jazza, and she doing a collab together. And then I found Pamela's Passion for Pencils and Colorfully Optimistic from there. And so I would say those were the first colortube channels that I was watching at the time. Now I watch a lot of fellow colorists because it's fun to watch how they do pages versus I do pages. Always am able to pick up some tip from someone else too, so that's fun. And question number 7, what was the first page you colored in adult coloring? I did show that in this book, but I will also show you some other ones that I did because it was right around the same time. So I had done this one, and this was strictly pencil. And bless my heart, my blending wasn't so hot here, and these were polychromos. No, they were Prismas. I wanted to say, yeah, there were Prismas, of course, during that time because I didn't have polychromos yet. But yeah, a little lacking on the face here. Hair, I guess, pretty good for one of my first set of portraits. But yeah, I mean, I was definitely pleased with myself, but my blending hadn't gotten there yet. It's funny to look at. And of course, there's this one too. And I wasn't doing too many like special effects on my pages yet, so I had not gotten into those supplies yet, and slightly afraid of background other than pan pastel, so she's plain, but my intent was to make her look avatarish. And I showed you that one. And then I got to this one when I had the jelly roll, glaze pens, and I was able to get some gloss going, and then glossy accents. The first time I used those was on these, and just a very, very thin layer just around the iris of the eye. So, and then I did this with alcohol markers. I think strictly alcohol markers I don't see, and there's little bits of glitter on the flower. I don't know if you can see, and the butterfly. So yeah, so these were beginning pages and stages. So back to questions. So the first portrait colored, that's also going to be from this book, and the first grayscale, because these are grayscale pages. So I'm sorry I don't have any variation for those. And then number 10 is, what is your first completed coloring book? And I have not finished a coloring book yet, and I'm far from it in some of these, because I'll choose one for the month to try to keep all of my books colored in. There's plenty that I have not colored in yet too. But yeah, that was the first page from Magical Dawn. I don't think I have I? Oh, this this page. That was pretty early on when I got this book too. In fact, I had done this page not long after the other page that I just showed you. And bless my ever-loving heart, because there's even a star missing some color here. But look, I have some color glittery things going on as I was testing stuff out. But yeah, that was that's gonna be fun to always look back on this picture, because I don't color like that now, thank goodness. I've advanced myself a little bit. But yeah, that's fun to look at. And then I think if any of you are on the Facebook coloring groups, Coloring Books for Adults, I think is one that I'm on. And my first double page spread was this one from Worlds Within Worlds, Kirby Rosanis. And I was super proud of this one. I did glaze pens over pencil. I have an Inktense background, but I used the Inktense pencil with an alcohol marker, colorless marker is how I blended out these, and Prismas. So I was proud of this 2-page spread. When I first started it, I thought I would never get it done, and it did take several days of a couple hours each of working on this double spread. So yeah, and I'm working on this book this month as well. I just put out a video on my November plans if you'd like to check it out. So yeah, that's the 10 questions. So thanks again to Meg for tagging me. I'm gonna go ahead and suggest anybody that has a YouTube channel and is a colorist do this tag. It is lots of fun to know the beginnings of a colorist. A little bit of my art room. My bookshelves are here. And then these down on the floor, the ones I'm doing for November, I just moved them there so that I could get this painting up. But yeah, and then I do my workstation over there for editing videos. And that is how I do my videos. Right here, I just plop my camera in here. So yeah, I fully intend on doing a studio tour, as I can show you back here are all of my supplies which need a little bit of tidying. Yeah. So that is the tag, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video and learn a little more about my beginnings as a colorist. And for any of you that want to do this tag, that would be fantastic. Tag me in it too so I can see. Would love to see everyone's journey. It's super great to see. All right, well, you all take care and happy coloring to you. Bye-bye.